this football show where we do a chit chat with our great former players of India and the legends that they have played in Calcutta and represented the national team. Today we have with us Mr. Victor Amalraj. He is joining us from Hyderabad, one of the finest midfielders that India has ever produced, and he has represented the national team as well as all the three big clubs in Calcutta. A rare achievement. Mr. Amalraj, welcome to the show. And the first thing that always comes to our mind, how did you travel to Calcutta in 1978?
My elder brother John was an ex-footballer in Calcutta. He played for Mamla Sporting and East Bengal, and also he played for Bengal State. And he's the person who has, pushed me to Calcutta. And in fact, I got a job in Hyderabad in South Central Railway as a TC. My brother said, no, you don't play here. You go to Calcutta. Calcutta is the Mecca of Indian football, where you'll get green pastures, So that's how it's history.
You have been an excellent midfielder, like attacking medium. I remember some of your goals, volleys, powerful volleys. Was it like starting with an attacking midfielder? Was it your choice, or where you were before you started in your school days as a forward or a defender? Because you have a very good height.
My first coach was Salambai, late Salambai Olympian. He is the coach who told me you have to play only as a midfielder because he used to like my passing, then the short pass, two pass, long pass, and also shooting, long range shooting. He used to like me. So he is the person who told me to play as a midfielder. And day one to retirement, I played as a midfielder.
So three big clubs in Calcutta. So obvious question would be like where you enjoyed the most. It was a very difficult choice.
Different. First, Mamla Sporting, 3 years, 78, 79, 80. Mamla Sporting, I played. 80, I led Mamla Sporting club. Then suddenly I shift to East Bengal, 81 and 82. The environment is changed. As in Mamla Sporting, we had a Hyderabad place. Then Hyderabad dish was there, biryani, all this thing. Suddenly shifted to East Bengal, only fish, and aloo was famous. This is something change. But luckily, I had a few players who played with me in the junior India Asian youth, like Prashant was there, Shambhala Banerjee was there, Bhaskar Ganguly was there. So that's how I was adjusted in East Bengal, and of course in Mohun Bagan also.
So your memorable matches, you have played so many memorable matches with Mohammedan Sporting, East Bengal and Mohun Bagan. Can you recall any of the match that you still can, in your retirement time, you will think of it as in it will give you a good feeling?
Playing for three big clubs, first whenever I played for any club, to be honest, I used to score vital goals. Whenever the team was losing, then I used to score the match in a draw, then a tiebreaker, we used to win the match. When the team was draw, then I used to score one goal. A very important vital goal I used to score. So whichever club we used to play, to be honest, we were professionals. Those days I learned a lot from Habib Bhai, Akbar Bhai. What are the contracts? Those days the contract was not that much, it was a secret contract. Whichever jersey we wore, we were committed, we were sincere, and we were committed together, I can tell.
So, you meant to say that you had enjoyed all the clubs where you played for, right? Yes. Mohun Bagan, East Bengal, Mohammedan Sporting. Three clubs had three different coaches at times. Amalda, Pradipda, Arunda, and many coaches that you have come under their tutelage. So, can you rate them like your favorite coaches?
See, I had a different coaches for India team. We had a Sirik Mullo when we had, then Bob Butland we had Indian team. For big clubs, we had D1 Olympic Rahman Sahab was there. Then Olympians. Salambai was there. Then with regards to big clubs, we had Pardipda, Amalda, Naeem was there, Arunda was there. And Amalda was something, theoretically he used to tell us, in the board, in the dressing room, still like this. With regards to Pardipda is a very practical man. He used to he used to demonstrate us in the practice. The practice used to tell us, see, you have to do like this. The move he has to show us. So I cannot what you call rate anyone on the top. Whichever coach had with them, I enjoyed them. To be honest, these are the top coaches. First coach, my Salam Bhai was the best coach. What I feel. Then comes Pradeepda, Amalda, Naim Bhai, Arunda. Lot of coaches I can tell, but specifically I cannot brief that he is the best coach. I cannot tell that. Always best coach as for my this.
Did you play under Mr. Chirish Milovan in the Indian team?
Yes, I played when I was captain for Indian team. 1983 President Cup Bangladesh Dhaka. He was my coach. Then in the Nehru Cup '84, he was my coach. And also we went to 2-3 places. He was coach. We went to West Indies also. So he was my coach for 2-3 trip. But he was my coach, Sri Milovan. For pre-Olympics, he was my coach. We went to what we call Saudi Arabia, Singapore, Malaysia, and Delhi. We played. So he was my coach for 2-3 tournaments. Was a coach.
It will be a very difficult choice if I ask you to make a best playing 11 from 78 to 1991. I think you were in Calcutta. Best playing 11. It will be very difficult choice, but you can obviously give a try.
But when I went in the '70s, late '70s,
Yes, 78.
late '70s, top linked midfielders were there. We had a pair of Gautam Sarkar and Prasun Banerjee, in Munbagan. Then Mir Bose and Prasanta Banerjee, top. Then we had in Punjab Parminder Singh. Then in Bangalore we had a Kumar and Devraj, in midfielder. So we had a different era. So I saw different, the type of generation. You can see that. Gautam Da was, in 1979 when I played for Bengal State. So I played with Prasunda. I played with with Prasanta Banerjee. So like with the Indian team, I played with Parminder Singh. So a lot of midfielder position is something different. I cannot I can tell 70s. I played with Sham Thapa. You can tell Sham Thapa even today. Very few I saw the back volley famous. Then I played with Gupta, one of the finest right. I played with Uluganathan, Manas, Videsh. So it's very difficult. Those days, the amount of talent we had, it was amazing. You cannot, ease. Even if you, if you are sidelined for one match, it's very difficult to get you are in a playing 11. Such type of huge talent we had.
But best playing 11, I know it's very difficult, but again, like it's a choice. Like from goalkeeper, 4 defenders, 3 half.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have a goalkeeper. So I like Bhaskar Ganguly. Bhaskar Ganguly was a goalkeeper. Then Brahmanand was goalkeeper. And you want Calcutta or Whole India? You want Whole India?
No, I think based on the Calcutta teams, 3 clubs.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had the Bhaskar Ganguly and I put Atula Bhattacharya goalkeeper. He also very good goalkeeper. Played for okay. Then the defender we had Bablu Das is there. Manarajan Bhattacharya is there. Then wing back Premnath Phillips was good. Right back. But I heard Premnath Phillips right back. Premnath Phillips, right back. And Shamal Banerjee was there. Shamal Banerjee. Okay. Then in the midfielder we have Prasanta Banerjee was there. Then we had Prasunda was there. Top player Prasunda was there. Parminder Singh was there. Then in the forward Manas Videsh was there. And Surjitda was there. Then Ulgana, I'm telling you, this the fag end of their career. For example, Habib Akbar, you cannot ignore them, but they were just they were their football career is coming to an end. So we have a lot of strikers. Then we had Akbar Bhai is there. Then Shakir Bhai is there. A lot of players. So Ulganathan is there. Manas, Videsh. lot of forwards were there. I'm telling you, no, it's very difficult to make a team. Very difficult to get chance. You can those days. I don't know whether you
Yeah,
agree or not. You can play for country and very difficult to play for Bengal. The
Bengal. Yeah.
the cream of the what you call the players they'll select. So lucky, playing for in a big clubs in Calcutta.
Teams that we spoke about. Now coming to the fans, the adulation that you have received. So what kind of adulation was it from all the big clubs?
See, those days, we played in three different clubs, different grounds. Amala Sporting, East Bengal, Mohanbagan, and playing in Hidden Gardens. That is a huge 80,000 crowd was there those days. When you play in the East Bengal in the Eden Gardens, suppose you play if I play with Mamla Sporting East Bengal crowd is huge. When you play even with the Mamla Sport, Mohanbagan and East Bengal crowd is huge. East Bengal crowd is very huge compared to Mohun Bagan and Mamla Sporting Club. The crowd is very this thing. Those days, quite number of crowd is to come, and we cannot what we call know which club, which crowd belongs to which club. You know, it's a very this thing confusing. But end of the day, East Bengal has a big crowd in Eden Gardens. To be honest. Then
Do
second
you
time,
miss Calcutta?
yes, of course, I miss Calcutta. My God, I came very young age. I came very engaged. My whole youth was in Calcutta. But I played for 14 years. Even now I can walk in any lane in Calcutta. I cannot forget. Calcutta is something it's special in my heart.
Your favorite hangout in Calcutta? Can you remember? Do you remember your playing days where you used to hang around?
Yeah, that what you call metro gully, metro lane, where that what you called lot of you can say metro and New Market, Kamek Street. This is a place where are not the our supporters. Few vendors belongs to different club supporters. So whenever I go to take a a tender coconut, they will tell, oh Baba, they are from there. I asked which club? They belong. I am East Bengal. I am Mohanbagan. I am just supporting them. So yes, different street I used to go and enjoy with supporters.
Why do you think that frenzy of Calcutta football has died down? It's not so long. I mean, it was in your time. That frenziness, media, the public were involved, engaged, sentimentally, emotionally. But nowadays, it's just on the social media.
Cricket is the main this thing. Cricket came 1980 up to 1983 when they won the World Cup, cricket match. Before that, there was not that much hype in the cricket. From I saw the late 70s, then early 80s. Only football. Every lot of what you call the tournaments is to held in Delhi, DCM Duran, then in the Northeast, Sikkim Gold Cup, Darjeeling Gold Cup. Then in Bombay, Rovers Cup. Then in South, we had Stafford Nizam Gold Cup. The crowd was amazing. Only after 1983, when India won the World Cup cricket, the complete scenario has changed. The slowly, earlier it was hockey, then it changed into football. The football has changed to cricket. So, that's a change of, the spectators to come and see the matches.
But it is still said that the Indian football is alive because of still Calcutta football. How
Yes.
much is relevant?
Because the big three clubs are there. Mohanbagan, East Bengal clubs are there. They are the centenary old clubs. They are the one who keep football alive. What we call the amount of they have a lot of infrastructure. It's a centenary World Cup. Nobody can deny that. As I told, Calcutta is the Makkah of Indian football. Even now, I can tell. Maybe now atmosphere is changed into cricket. But still, Bengal has love for football.
And Mohun Bagan has been merged with the ATK with ISL. Do you think do you think East Bengal should have also joined in?
Yeah, yeah. That's a very this thing what you call because ISL and High League, this is a both different. I wish it should be merged in one, like we have a English Premier League, then we have a Bundesliga league, we have a Spanish league, then that they have only 20 teams are there. If ISL make in one team, it will be great. And some restriction should be there. A few foreign players should be, what you call in our this thing league matches. When we represent Indian team, that time the good coordination, good understanding. Our team, Indian team, will be more strengthening to play with the other teams.
During your time, there was no foreign player rule. There was no foreign player rule, but later on, the foreign player rule came from the AFA 3 plus 1, 4 plus 1. At times, it was 2 plus 1. Recently, 2 days back, the AFA has passed on a new rule that the clubs can hire 3 foreigners and 1 Asian. So that means 4 foreigners. In your time, there was no foreigner, but the
No,
Indian football level was very high. It was very high. There was no rule on foreigners. So do you
no.
think, like in England, most foreigners used to come and play, and there was a lot of criticism from the English football clubs that their local talent was not promoted. As a result of which, England was not doing well at the international level. Do you think the same thing is happening with Indian football?
Yes, I agree. Because we have to what you call encourage more our local players. And, of course, in our time also, you might have heard Majid Baskar, Jamshid Nasiri, Chima Kari. A lot of players were there, in our time also. But very few, but majority we were dominating. Indian players were dominating in that. So when you want to play for country, these foreigners won't be participating. Only our local players, our Indian citizen players will be participating. So that time we'll have a good understanding. Our team will be more weight, more coordination. So it's better to this is a very good idea. 3 plus 1. It will be good. Good concept. So India can perform well in future.
About the same thing has happened with the coaches also. I mean, when we have forgotten our own players, it's the same thing is happening with our own coaches. In your time, such legendary coaches, I mean, they were no less than the foreign coaches. So nowadays, if you see Indian football, all clubs are going for Spanish coaches, English coaches. Do you think it's a good trend?
It, it's a good, but one thing they should what you call it's very unfortunate. We have ISL. I saw not one for Indian coaches are there. Not one Indian coaches are there. They should keep an assistant coach so that they can learn. So that they should encourage even coaches also. We have a lot of A license, B license, coaches in India. Nobody is not using them properly. Federation should use this, the coaches, when they're giving coaching courses. The federation has to minimum, they should, like they kept 3 plus 1, they should keep mandatory one assistant coach with foreign coach, which should help our for Indian coach to learn more from foreign coach.
Okay, we'll just end up the show with a message for you. I mean, from your end to your Calcutta fans in Calcutta and to all over India, what would be your message during this COVID-19 time?
Yes, be safe and what you call keep your health safe and pray that Almighty God should bring the past environment as early as possible.
Thanks, Mr. Amalraj, for joining us today. And